Good evening. Welcome to the May 17th Clark County Fire District 6 Board of Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call this evening's meeting to order and ask that you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This time I'd ask for any additions to this evening's agenda.
None here.
We'll need to read and approve, post as necessary, the minutes of our May 4th board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence, I did see a couple of items in our board packet this evening. Did everyone get a chance to take a look at those?
I did. Open and public meeting.
Yeah. Anything specific there that we may or may not have seen? I saw that meetings are in person and still.
Yeah,
Okay. Perfect.
unless there's an emergency which the board can declare, and then limit attendance.
And we don't have to broadcast them, it's our choice, right?
Correct. Unless you determine that you can't have open
Access.
attendance.
Right,
okay,
right.
Then you're required to broadcast.
Thank you. Any questions with that? Citizen communication. Any citizens tonight viewing this evening's meeting on YouTube, there is a place for you to type in any questions that you may have for the board, and those will be directed at the board and monitored throughout this evening's meeting. At this time, I'd like to turn things over to Chief Maurer. She would like to provide us with a support services and community program update.
Yeah, so first of all, there's no better way to realize how much people contribute to an organization until you have a global pandemic and you put them on hiatus for 2.5 years. So we're glad that our volunteers are back, and we're ramping up into the busy season. And so we couldn't do it without them. So we were just fortunate that the pandemic also stopped public events so that we didn't feel the pain of them being gone as much as we could have. So thank you for having them come early today and welcome them back. And we're excited to get them started.
Yeah, welcome.
Great. Well, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for coming this evening as well. And thank you for sticking with the fire district over the last 2 years as things have been in a lockdown.
Yeah. You know, it's been a really strong group. The only ones that have left pretty much are ones that got hired at other places, to Tualatin Valley. So
All
that
right.
was still enormous. But
All right.
yeah.
Well, I see that the bulk of you are also EMTs as well, so that's taken a lot of energy on your own part too. So thank you.
You should have the fair. I have one question. Is it our intent to, those who wish to, be able to drive the air rehab unit for us?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So in your packet is a report from Captain Grant, who's our administrative training captain. He goes through each of our administrative programs that we do. So first, the Fire Cadet program. There's currently 13 active students. 3 of our seniors got picked up at Umatilla as interns,
Really?
and 1 is going to Shemeketa. So next year we have 8 juniors that will be returning and 17 new students. So about a total of 25 that will come in next year. They've already done the student parent orientation, so the kids are excited about the program and ready to get started. All of them are doing good grade-wise. 4 students have completed the dual credit program with Portland Community College and earned 12 fire service credits towards their degree while they were in high school. And then the chief, Emily Reynolds, was selected as the Cascadia Tech Academy Fire Service Distinguished Graduate. Her banquet for that award is actually tonight, so that is why Captain Grant couldn't be there with us tonight. He's there representing the district with Emily. So
Nice.
that's really great that she did that.
What a great program.
It is a great program.
It's a great program, isn't it?
It's that suffered during COVID like all other programs, but we're glad we were able to keep it going.
It's good.
Support services volunteer program, so they're back. I guess we didn't get them signed up for the parade, but we got lots of other stuff happening. Open house, the fair is going to be in full swing, so we'll have lots for them to do. Part of their training will be to refamiliarize themselves with the air and rehab unit and they'll go through the certification process for that through the district, and then they'll do community and district event staffing and support. This group here is all EMTs, and so we'll use their EMT service, but moving forward, we'll take EMTs or no certification to fill those support service roles. Community risk reduction, this is going to be our focus the next year and a half. So we're developing a community risk reduction program. That's mainly Captain Grant that's working on that. That will help us with our WSRB rating, and it also helps the district if we were to ever seek accreditation. That is a program that you have to have in place before you can do that. We are currently in the beginning stages of evaluating a fire internship program. We know with the cadets that we lose all those kids to Umatilla, Central Oregon, Astoria, and we lose a lot of diversity and educated and great candidates. So we want to try to revamp our own internship program and work with Portland Community College to do that. So Captain Grant's developing that plan. He'll bring it to staff and then we can discuss further. IFSAC and JATC certifications. So Clark County Fire District 6 is 100% enrolled in the Washington State Firefighters Joint Apprenticeship Program. We have 13 members in the apprenticeship stage, and all of their members, including staff, have met the journey level requirements and are certified by the Washington State Apprentice and Training Council. The International Fire Service Accreditation Congress, IFSAC, which is the certifications for Washington State. We have for Firefighter 1, Fire Officer 1, and Fire Instructor 1. Before 2016, we only had 103 individuals that have been certified in that. Today, we have 380 people that have received that certification. Once this academy is done, we'll be 100% certified, and we are the lone wolf in the state. We're the leader in that certification process. And
Does that help with certificate rating?
It does.
Right, it does, okay.
So what that does is it reduces their training hours from 240 hours required to 120.
Wow.
Gives them time to do other training opportunities that they choose to. So that's a big deal, and that is all kudos to Captain Grant. That was his marching orders when he got hired here, and he has performed. So that is the admin training report.
All right.
You guys can stay.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys feel free to stay if you'd like, or you're welcome to take off if you need to. So, all right, we'll move forward here with committee reports. Health and safety report.
There's no report tonight.
Okay. Risk management, I see no report. Fairgrounds Fire Facility Board.
We had a workshop today to discuss some of the issues with CCSO out there. Control panels to get through the gate, everything from that to ID tags to different things that has to be done. They're gonna vacate a couple rooms. I know you looked down that hallway.
Yeah.
And we're switching some rooms up so that when it comes to our section, we can put a door there with a lock on it to be able to get in at that point. We've asked them not to park in front of the bays anymore.
Right.
Or in the bays, or clearing room in the bays, and they do have pretty new gym equipment that we're more than, our crews are more than, they're more than willing to let our people use the equipment at no charge, so. That, and we talked about the fuel tank and some other logistical issues. But we'll actually have a triple FP meeting this Friday to go through some other issues. So this was basically a workshop to deal with the sheriff's office. And the chief, I think, will get into the other a little bit more in a minute, but that's all. And yes, there's a parade Saturday. Hollybird's in, we have an engine in, we've got MDA people following them. There's no pancake breakfast, but the Lions will be doing coffee and donuts out front, and the weather looks great.
Yeah, 73 degrees, I saw.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And what is the official start time?
10:30.
10:30, okay.
Our press release was well.
So 10:30.
Alrighty. Thank you. Consent agenda. We need a motion to approve.
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chief's report.
So detailed overtime report for April 2022, total of $122,737 $1,003. So the majority of that was in shift replacement overtime callback. And we anticipate that'll be about where we're running with the academy in full swing right now.
You can just move into the other
Okay.
parts.
For the budget performance report for April, for Fund 6212, the general fund fire suppression, the anticipated expenditures would be 33.3%. We've expended 24.7% of that fund. For 6242 EMS, the anticipated expenditures would be 33.3%, and we've expended 26.5% of that fund. So we're tracking well so far. Keep going. The next one is the facilities project update. Later in the agenda, we'll talk more about the financing of the project, but this is just general facilities update. The architect and the district continue to meet. Cost estimates were presented last Thursday, and they're in your packet to review. The estimates are less than what we got for the 60% cost estimates, so that's good news. We didn't anticipate that going down, but we had more details, so we feel that it's a pretty solid estimate. With that level of detail, McKinsey wanted to decrease the contingency to 2%. We asked them to keep it at 5% because of supply chain and labor shortages. So you'll see a 2% contingency and a 5%
Oh,
contingency.
that's the two columns then?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Then we're going with the 5, right?
We would like to go with the 5,
Right.
but whatever the board desires.
I think we'd like to go with 5.
Landscaping, we're still working with Alder Dental to deal with some of the tree issues. Mechanical, plumbing, and security have nothing new to report. We received the locution proposals and we're moving forward with complete coverage of the facility. If you remember, we looked at reducing some of the costs by not doing the admin side, and it wasn't that significant. Still waiting on an update on interiors. And then just general with Station 61, we had to replace 2 of the overhead door motors, which cost us about $10,000 for both of them. But they've been in place since 1991 when the building was built, and we're not doing any work to the doors motor capabilities, so we can keep those with the remodel. Station 62, we're finally on track to fix the light issue. The delay was waiting on supplies, and now Chief Newberry is coordinating the installation of those lights. 63, for the training storage building, we received the final comments for from the county, and now we can submit for permits for that training building, so we anticipate that to start moving along pretty quickly. We've also discovered some problems in the tower with electrical issues. All the electrical is waterproof in the tower, but it's not waterproof for high pressure hose lines hitting those electrical boxes and conduits. So we're having some problems with the electrical, but Chief Newberry and an electrician are working on a solution for that. I'm sure we've all heard about the acoustic issues at Station 63. We had a company come out that, a consultant to evaluate those issues, and we're waiting on a report, and then we'll bring that back to the board. Station 151, we're waiting for CCSO to give us a plan on how they want to program our key cards, and we're going to put that on the agenda for the next FFB. And then facility in general needs attention. In the past, CCFR has been responsible for the building, and we'll evaluate this, how it will move forward with the operational change. I put the COVID-19 update back in your packet because we're trending upward.
Yeah. Did we just take it out last meeting?
Yeah. The district currently has not 4, but we just got another one today, so 5 employees are off with COVID, and the general trend is increasing. So you can see the numbers in Clark County since May 5th, we've increased by 779 cases. So the district is considering no more tours and kind of limiting our exposure as much as possible.
Alrighty, that looks like that takes care of the chief's report. Old business, EMS levy.
I just wanted to update the board that all the required paperwork to get the levy on the August ballot, as well as the backup levy for the November ballot, has been turned in. There is a Citizens for Clark County Paramedics group, as well as Local 452, and they've been working outside of the district to get information out about the EMS levy renewal. Last week, Commissioner Losbeck presented to the Hazeldale Salmon Creek Business Association.
And Chief Russell.
And Chief Russell, thank you for doing that. And then also Chief Russell presented to the Neighborhood Associations Group, which is a group of all the neighborhood associations. He did that on Thursday night. So we're currently trying to schedule every community group out there, and a lot of them still aren't meeting in person, so it's been a little bit difficult. But I don't know if you had any update on that, Commissioner Losbeck.
Station 151.
So Station 151 continues. Today, the commissioners and chief officers from both departments met to discuss the operational plan and interacting with CCSO. So that plan is attached for your review. It's essentially the same plan that we've had since April-ish, and then there's been some edits done by legal counsel, and in the operational plan doesn't change any of the operations of the plan, more was grammatical and liability issues. So that is before you today, and I'll let Commissioner Losbeck talk more about what the discussion was today.
When we talked about it last time, you didn't have a problem with it. And with the grammatical changes, I just wanted to make sure there was nothing in there that made any difference operationally. Just wanted to make sure that you're both okay with me moving forward with that when we get to that point.
When do we anticipate we're gonna get to that point? And I guess the reason I'm asking is, so is labor from both of those jurisdictions, are they okay with where we're at or what's going on?
Well, I don't know how to explain okay, really.
I don't
So
either.
labor has had this since mid-April with very minimal changes. I was out of town when we got the legal changes, so they did just get the legal changes Friday night, but like I said, those haven't changed.
Okay.
They have submitted a demand to bargain the impact of the unilateral change. We don't see a unilateral change in wages, hours, working conditions, or safety. So we differ on what that change is. I have requested from the union to give us and outline those changes that they perceive as unilateral changes and have yet to hear back from them. So it's up to the board's discretion on whether you want to sign the current document as is. I have asked that they schedule bargaining for Wednesday or Thursday, and I have yet
This
to hear
next
back
week?
this week, yes.
Yeah, because we have a FFB meeting on Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the date to staff it is June 5th, so we're running on.
And the date to staff it is Clark Cowlitz?
Yes.
Staff it,
Right,
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 okay. All right.
Yeah, and their plan is a 3-person engine with a medic, officer, and firefighter every time they can. There is a caveat in that operational plan where they can drop to a 2-person company, and then at that point they would go to a brush unit.
Okay, I saw that in there.
And then everything in District 6 would still be mirrored. We're not changing any of our response plans. It'll still be the same response to all call types within District 6 from District 6 units.
Do you, and I don't know, you guys, you met with Chief Nord today?
We did.
Did they get similar, where are they at with their whole, with the labor thing?
Our locals met,
Okay.
and according to Chief Knorr, I haven't talked to their local, according to Chief Knorr, their local is on board with the operational plan as drafted.
And you're meeting Friday? When's our next meeting?
June.
It's not till June 7th.
till June
After
7th.
June 5th, we're going to staff it.
Does this have to be signed before they can staff it, or can they? It does?
Yes.
Okay. Is this something that we can give authorization, like, do we have to be in a public meeting to give authorization, or can we
Yes.
send out an email? Once this happens, like, once everything gets reconciled?
Well, it requires a vote of the board, and so that would have to be
Right.
done in a public meeting.
Okay.
And if there's some bargaining Wednesday or Thursday, and we meet on Friday, if we sign it, doesn't mean that the local couldn't go forward
With what they're doing?
what their concerns are. I don't know if it would be an unfair labor practice or a grievance or.
If they were able to show that the district made a unilateral change to wages, hours, working conditions, they could move forward with the unfair labor practice, and then we'd have to work through that process. As with anything that the district does, we consult legal as well.
Mhm.
This is the same plan that's been drafted and presented at that last joint board meeting. The local has been invited to all those board meetings. It's been talked about in labor management, and like I said, it was emailed to them in April.
And the only changes I didn't see till yesterday from Schnur, because we didn't get them till Friday night, so.
Is, now Snur's he's not our labor
No.
attorney, right?
No, we use Summit Law for
Okay.
labor,
And they're-
and Brian Schnur is our district
Right.
attorney.
Okay.
Yeah. But we've consulted both.
Is that something, whatever Summit Law told us, is that something that the commissioners can take a look at? I would like to see kind of what their opinion is on
Then we need to go.
the merits of.
Can we go to executive session for that, Dave? It's a personnel issue, but it's a contractual issue.
Contract, yeah.
Contractual issue, you can't, sure.
Yeah. That would be entirely
I would
appropriate.
feel more comfortable discussing it since there's a potential for
Right.
action taken again. I do
I
that
would
in
too.
executive
I would
session,
agree.
which
I would too.
RCW 41.
Look at you, wow, numbers.
No, I don't know that.
Okay.
But if there's contractual issues, obviously you can't negotiate a contract in
Yeah,
public
right.
either, so we can do that in executive session if you'd like.
I would prefer to.
Okay, we'll move that to executive session. Let's see, so move to the new business portion here. Bond payment approval.
So in your packet is the bond payment that we make twice a year. In June, we make interest. We are now carrying two bonds, one taken out in 2017 and one taken out in 2021. The bond interest for 2017 is $140,800, and for 2021, it's $112,109.17. That's a total of $252,909.17. That has to be transferred from our general fund into that debt services fund. And that is due in June.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Now, quick question, Chief. We took out the 2021 bond in October,
Correct.
and we have to spend that within 3 years,
3 years, yes.
so we still have time.
We do have time, and part of that bond, as we wrote it, was for any facilities and capital purchases. So that can include apparatus and architectural fees, storage buildings at 63, that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Policy workshop.
So we have about 26 policies that needed updating. We just haven't done it in a while, and so we're looking at updating those. Most of them are just grammatical changes or date changes, not substantial. But since there are so many, I didn't know if the board wanted to do that in a workshop environment or if you wanted to just do it in a general meeting.
When we review how in-depth are we going to review these?
We'll highlight the changes, and like I said, most of them are just date changes and
Okay.
formatting changes. So if the board were to schedule that tonight, that would give me the opportunity to give them to the local to review as well. So,
What I would suggest, what we've done in the past, is we'll start this meeting earlier,
Mhm.
and maybe have an hour workshop or whatever we need. If we get done early, we take a break and then start this
Yeah.
at 6, so we don't have to try to schedule 2 different nights.
That would be.
Sounds great.
That'd be, yeah.
Are you gonna be able to do that by the June meeting or the July
we
meeting?
can, they're ready to go. Mhm.
Okay.
And you'll move those through labor and management
Well,
before
normally
we
they-
meet, or how does that work?
Yeah, normally they go to the board first, and then you guys have 2 weeks because you don't
Right.
approve your first meeting, and then you have 2 weeks. So normally they go to the board, then they go to labor, and then the board
Back to the board.
approves or denies. And then, but in this case, since there's so many,
Mhm.
2 weeks is just short period of time. So if the board was okay with it, I would send them to the local now so that they have the 4 weeks to review them.
And you will send us all those ahead of time,
Yes,
which makes the meeting go way quicker.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause there's probably not a lot
We
of
can get them out this
issues,
week.
so I don't have a problem
I
with
don't
the
have a
local
problem.
getting it early.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
And you can let us know at our meetings.
sounds good. And so do we need a workshop? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when's our next meeting, the 6th, 7th? Are you guys available? Is that a good day to shift
Yeah,
for you guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
the 7th is
Seventh?
good.
Okay.
It is good. So we'll come in at 5.
Do a workshop at 5, the secretary has to post it, so workshop at 5, and then, should we put meeting at 6 or a regular meeting to follow it?
To follow, we usually do.
And then if we go over an hour, we're good, if we can take a break or recess.
Follow immediately thereafter. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay,
okay.
All right.
On June 7th, it's Iris's high school graduation, so I won't be here, but I know that staff can handle those changes with the board.
Nice work.
Graduated.
Wow, yeah, that's cool. Alrighty.
Now, if you feel like you need to be, we can
Yeah,
postpone
we
it.
can do it
Right.
the next one.
They're
mean, it's
pretty
been here
simple
since we-
changes, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, if there's any major policy changes, we can put those onto another meeting.
okay.
All right, actually at 5 o'clock. Okay.
Station 6-1 remodel cost estimate.
Okay.
Number 13, it looks like.
Yeah, so in your packet is number 13. You'll see that the 60% drawings is that first gray column. That came in at $11,120,927 for the remodel at 61. When Mackenzie went through the 90% drawings, we narrowed everything down. It actually dropped the cost to $10,638,270. But again, that is with the 3% contingency, or I'm sorry, 2% contingency. We asked for a rate with a 5% contingency or an estimate with a 5% contingency, and that puts it at $10,939,437, which is still less than the 60%. But in order to move forward with either one of those plans, I would want approval from the board.
Have we done value engineering? Yeah.
Yeah, at 90%, they've done the majority of value engineering.
Was there any, I see, I know you removed the antique rig in the lobby, was there any other? Remove the covered
Covered
parking,
parking.
we're gonna do a new roof?
A new roof if it's needed, so that may be one area where we could save money, so they'll look at what areas are needed.
And then the fuel tanks are included, okay.
Is 5% enough?
Probably not.
We feel good? Well, that's what I'm asking, right?
Well, so I think it was 7.5 at the 60%.
Okay.
Look again, sorry.
Where do we end up in station?
7%. At Station 2.
Do we have a 5% there? We didn't, did we?
Well, Station 2 and 3 were combined, so total it was, we dropped it down to a 5% contingency, and we used all that, but the majority on that was 62 because of things we didn't find with the
Sprinkler system,
remodeling.
water main, okay.
But with this project, we went ahead and replaced the windows, replaced the roof, estimated all those costs,
Okay.
which we didn't do in 62 in an attempt to save money, which in the long run didn't save us money. So, like I said, Mackenzie's very comfortable with the 2% contingency. We're comfortable with the 5, and yeah, I think we can get it there. Because when we went from 60% to 90%, we really narrowed down everything that was going into the building, so we have a pretty good idea.
So the county has the 90% plans, and they'll get back to us on any changes?
They don't have them yet
They don't.
until the board says we can go ahead and submit them.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to move to a 5% contingency and move forward with the project.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Now, with that being said, how are we gonna pay for it?
I knew you were gonna ask me that. So we still have the bond funds
Which
that we need
is-
to use. Chief Taylor, are you able to pull up the budget real quick? I have my computer with me.
What do you need to know?
Bonds?
What is in the bonds?
How many millions
budget?
are we gonna be able to use it? Was it 8 million or 10? I can't even remember, I should, it was 8.
It was a little over 7 once we did all the payments.
Okay. You wanna know what the bond bonds, how much the bonds are, how much the payments are, were you asking?
How much is in the bond account?
Account.
Oh, in the account.
Because we do get interest on
Well, we started with 8 million,
it. Okay.
and presently I don't have the,
And we've gotten some interest on it of some.
yeah.
Okay.
What did this say, we have 7.688 million right now in
Okay.
that fund.
And we've been paying architect fees and all that stuff out of there, okay.
Yeah.
And then the other
And then what is in
2 to 3
capital?
million capital.
We
Did we have 4 in there?
Right about 4.
We had about 4 in there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 4.495, and we're adding 2 million to that this year, so.
6 and 8.
So we'll be okay. And we're not really doing anything at the shop structurally, right?
No, they're doing some minor things to the shop, like key carding the doors, some security stuff and some lighting stuff, but no remodel, really.
Okay, so the
Just
cadets will
updates.
still have their bay, and Brad will have 2 bays?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I feel better now. I know we've been saving money for this, so. And have we given any consideration, and the crews would know better than I, about having our own fueling station, at Station 3 versus
So-
going to,
It's John here right now. The crews at 63 have said that it's not a huge issue to go to the other one, but that is something we can budget for in the future, so. There's really no cost savings to do them together, to do 63 and 61 together.
we just have to
It's
make sure
still-
there's diesel in the tank for the generator.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right.
Good
Clark
job.
County.
Thank you, everybody.
Clark County Risk Management Group premiums.
So that's just an email for the board and specifically Commissioner Haynes. We asked him to run some different numbers for risk management group and premiums to see if there was any cost savings. So that will be on our agenda at the next FFB.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not FFB, the risk
Right,
management
risk.
group.
Alrighty, that takes care of new business. Executive session. Would we like to move to executive session? Is there an RCW that we need to announce, or?
If you could find it that quick, we have to money questions, so.
Yeah.
Could you put that in the minutes for us though? The
Yeah.
RCW,
Okay.
so everybody knows, okay. And 15 minutes enough?
Mhm.
Okay.
So at this time, we'll session for 15 minutes to discuss labor relations.
And if the.
Sure, and Chief, and Secretary Taylor.
Yes.
The board has extended the executive session for another 10 minutes.
The board met in executive session this evening and took no immediate action.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that we allow Commissioner Lospect to sign the agreement on Friday, provided that the local labor and management can meet by Thursday at 4, so we can hear the locals' concerns and what they might have.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Round table, good of the order.
I got one. Just want to thank Brad for
Tuning you
Osborne
up.
running me through the antique fire engine and getting me ready to drive that thing in the parade. So he was awesome. He took me out there. We drove around the fairgrounds a little bit and made sure I could double clutch and do what I needed to do. So,
All right. Well,
and
I
then
know-
he also told me everything to watch out for on the thing.
Yeah.
He told me to bring my own battery pack.
Okay.
Watch out for it overheating.
All right.
Yeah, but anyway, so I'm feeling good.
Well,
My
my
leg
daughter's-
will get sore on the clutch
Yeah.
too.
Well, let's just keep it at the speed and let the gear on it.
Danny's about right.
Okay, all right.
Well, my daughters are excited to see your skills.
Well,
in action.
Ooh.
yeah, it's gonna prepare to be underwhelmed.
A couple other things,
Okay.
like I mentioned before, Emily Reynolds, our cadet, got the Distinguished Student Award, so we're proud of her. We had our second one in about a month and a half of a member here having a baby while their grandfather is still working here, so that's kind of cool. We
Yeah.
had Lily Losbeck in April, and then Russell Franklin Lyons and his wife Olivia had their baby. I can't remember his first name.
There's more on the way.
Something Ryder.
Finley.
Ryder.
All right.
Finley Ryder Franklin Lyons.
Yeah.
Say that.
And
Wow.
his father-in-law is Dave Fisher, who works here.
Oh,
So his
that's right.
grandparent works here. Yeah, it's cool.
Very nice.
Of course, the parade is Saturday, and we're all looking forward to that. And then I just wanted to notify the board that Brad Osborne's dad passed away about a week and a half
Yeah.
ago, and the service is Saturday. Chief Newberry will be going down to that in Southern Oregon to represent the district,
nice. Oh,
and
very nice.
I'll be here for the parade, but we wanted to make sure we got somebody down there.
That's good. I know
Very
he's
nice.
heading down there
Yeah.
today to
Yeah.
deal with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I would like to mention how nice the grounds here at Station One look. Mowed, trimmed, new plants out front. Pressure washing looks really good for the parade. You know, we've got 5,000 people right here judging us, and it looks really nice. I appreciate staff's time doing all that. I know it takes time.
That is really our operational support division that has been doing all that. Andre, Pat, and Brad. So Engine Zero is going to sparkle for you. They
That's
got
what
a
he
new
said.
banner,
Yeah.
and yeah, grounds
Looks
looking
looks
great.
really nice. It's a good impression to the public. So.
Very nice. All right. With that, we'll need to authorize May issuance of payroll warrants, authorize May payroll direct deposits treasurer's check, authorize May deposit of federal and FICA medical withholding treasurer's check, authorize pre-authorization invoice transmittal, and authorize payment of current bills.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.